What's happening, my YouTube dudes? And welcome back to the hottest channel on YouTube. Today we have a badass cardio session. Killer cardio on a Tuesday. You know how we do it. So, what you're gonna need is the best set of resistance bands on the market. And if you don't have the Flex Farm resistance bands, make sure you click on the link below. The Amazon link is down there for you guys to purchase a brand new pair of Pro Series resistance bands. The second thing you're gonna need is a yoga mat. Make sure you have a bright color because bright colors make you lose weight faster. No, I'm just kidding. The third thing you're gonna need is a timer. And I don't care if it's on your phone, a stopwatch, a clock, on the freaking wall, or a watch. Make sure you get a timer. The fourth thing you're gonna need is the will to lose weight. We're gonna have 10 exercises. It's gonna be high intensity interval training, gonna be 1 minute each. You wanna make sure that you have water handy and you pace yourself. If you're brand new to this, start off slow because if not, you will faint, die, or pass out. We love you, let's get started. So to start off the routine, we're going to start with jump squats. This is an introductory exercise which is going to warm up your muscles and get you ready for the next 9 exercises to come.
Dear Lord Jesus, help us all.
Yes, please. You're going to want to pace yourself because if not, you will burn yourself out before you get to the 10th movement. In between each one of these exercises, you want to make sure that you rest at least 30 seconds to a minute in between. If you are advanced, you can go through it without having any rest. However, I do suggest that you have water handy. For the second exercise, we're going to do a burpee leg extension. For this one, we're going to jump up, come back down, extend your legs, and then do the whole movement over again for 1 minute.
Also, I noticed when I look back at the video, I did keep my butt up a little bit more than what I should have. So when you're watching this, it's better to look at Orlando because as the exercise went on, my butt did tend to go up more. So when you're doing any type of burpees or motions like this, just keep in mind you want to have as straight as a back as possible.
For the third exercise, we're going to do leg runners. So for this one in particular, we don't have the bands around our feet. I didn't want to get too burnt out, so we just had it around our wrists and around our arms for a little extra resistance as we're doing the runners. You can use it and do this exercise with the bands around your feet or around your knees for extra resistance.
I definitely felt the burn with this within my arms, trying to keep them expanded as much as I can with that resistance. So I really felt like it was effective.
Next, we're going to jump straight into a 5-count leg push-up. So for this one, we're going to do 1 push-up, then we're going to come back up, and we're going to extend our legs 5 times and go right back into the push-up and do it over and over again for 1 minute. You want to pace yourself because this one can be a little bit challenging. It's hard to get the initial push-up movement down. So if you want to do this one for 30 seconds, that's perfectly fine. Once you become a little more advanced with it, you can do it for the complete minute.
I definitely felt with this one, I also poked out my butt more than I should have. And I really felt bad about myself because I can definitely do a push-up, but I was burnt out from the other few exercises. So don't discourage yourself too much, you can also do the different push-up where your knees are still on the ground, and you'll see it towards the end. I still try doing the push-up. So, you know, even if you can't do the full one, at least try doing it halfway.
Next, we're gonna jump straight into a squat jumping jack. For some of you, this may be a little bit challenging. This requires a lot of muscles, your leg muscles as well as your arms. This one is going to burn a lot of calories because you're recruiting a lot of muscle fibers to push your body up and to extend it with the resistance bands. I really love this movement. It's a remix on the normal jumping jack and the squat. As you become more accustomed to this exercise, you want to make sure that you keep your hands extended as far as possible, almost as if you're trying to make a snow angel.
I did feel the burn with this. I feel the burn right now underneath my butt, the highest part of my hamstring. I can definitely feel it. And just note again, Orlando and I do have the bands in different positions. Mine just a little bit below my knees and his around his ankles. For this next one, I like to call it the dead fish, but Orlando calls it the Superman. So we actually are using 2 bands each. I would start out with a lighter one, then a heavier one. Now we do 15 seconds on, 5 seconds off. So this means that a total of 45 seconds of doing the exercise. So rest between each set how we're doing, and making sure that you are doing resistance and you're pushing out with your legs and pushing out with your arms. So you're working pretty much every part of your body, especially your core, to keep yourself up.
This is going to work on your legs as well as your shoulders.
Yeah, definitely. I felt the burn while doing it and now.
This next move is going to be the burpee arm band push-up. So if you are familiar with the traditional burpee, this is basically what we're doing, but we're adding a resistance band. The bands give you an extra resistance in your shoulders while you're doing your push-up. This is really challenging if you want to start off without the resistance bands to begin with, then work your way up to the resistance bands.
Also, if you can see, Orlando is doing 2 push-ups. You also don't have to do 2 push-ups when you're going down. You can just do 1. That's perfectly fine. Just get used to that movement. And I'm sorry I cut myself out, guys. This was my first time doing this, and I just wanted everyone to focus on Orlando's awesome movements rather than my horrible movement.
Next, we're going to move straight into the plank side crunch. This is going to target your abs and your obliques. So for this one in particular, we didn't do it with resistance bands. However, if you feel the exercise is not challenging enough, you can add resistance bands. You can put them around your ankles, and then as you're crunching, it adds another level of resistance and another level of difficulty to the movement. That's already a pretty difficult movement to begin with. In order to accomplish this, you have to maintain your pelvis shifted slightly forward, which is going to engage your abs.
And then also, just to remind you guys again, to keep your butt down and try not to have it too far up like I tended to do towards the end.
Next is the abdominal ab crunch. For this one, we're going to have the resistance bands wrapped around our feet and just come up real nice and slow and crunch extremely hard. This one is more of an isometric type of movement. You don't have to have your feet wailing back and forth and smacking your knees against your face. You just have to really focus on the movement and crunching your abs. And last but not least, we're going to end this routine with alternating ab crunches. This one in particular is one of my favorite exercises. I feel like it's a burnout at the very end, so that's why I saved it for the very last exercise. For this one, your left knee should be hitting against your right elbow and vice versa. You can do this one with or without the resistance bands. You want to make sure that you get the movement down pat first. So make sure that you can balance yourself on your tush before you do this one. And if you want to add an extra level of difficulty, you can use the resistance bands.
Yeah, when I first started working out a few years back, I definitely could not do this. I would always fall to my side or like fall backwards because it was very difficult trying to balance on my butt. But hey, keep practicing, and like Orlando said, you don't have to use the bands at first, and just keep it at 30-second intervals if that's what you have to do. It's all about getting that movement down.
Guys and girls, we are done this workout. Thank God. We are sweating, we are drenched. It was an extreme workout, 10 minutes. I'm drenched. Jay just looks like she came back from a stroll in the park. But, so 10 minutes, amazing workout. Make sure you check out our resistance bands and our Flex Farm Fitness Instagram. Please subscribe, share with a friend, try our workouts. We love you, and stay watching, my friends.
Bye.